So another fun session with BizGear today. We got a lot happening, but a lot not happening at the same time, just with some reworks of some things that we had in play. But generally heading in the right direction. There's a fair bit of anticipation around the sales tools that we've put together and the rollout of those. Anticipation verging on excitement, but we'll see how they pan out. We should see those starting to come into play in the next week or two in terms of getting proper full feedback and results. I also did some work on the admin side of things today, caught up with their admin coordinator, and last week he and I talked about putting together, expanding on the existing procedures for the administrative side of the business. He was already working through the video library of the existing procedures that have been created, but those need updating, and there's only a limited amount of them. There's not that many of them, there's about 10. And so we wanted to get further into more detail of what actually happens in his side of the business. So last week we agreed that for the week he would just keep a record of the tasks that he's actually performing day to day, week to week, and put that together into a list, which he did and presented today. It was a great list. It's got some good detail with some relevant and specific tasks which are going to translate directly into some procedures. So the intention is that we're going to add to that procedures library, and both in video format and in a written text format. So they're using a video service called Loom, which is pretty good at screen capturing and captures your audio as well, and allows you to create little libraries. So it's another handy tool if you're looking at putting together some procedures quickly and easily and don't want to write it. It's really useful for just creating quick, easy videos. We also had some more tweaks to the customer audit sheets, just refining those a little bit more. They weren't entirely happy with them, and this was a short week in terms of meetings because we had a public holiday prior to the last meeting, so they've only had a couple of business days between meetings to get things done. So fair enough, because I would have liked to have seen those being tested and actually put into play, but I've been assured that we will that they're actually planning on having a sales meeting tomorrow. And the other thing that ties into that was the spreadsheet that's going to manage their 90-day action plans that I was talking about in the previous video. They put that together, but it wasn't how I'd imagined it or how I thought I'd explained it. But now we have clarity and there's understanding about what structure that needs to take so that it can be useful, and we've included that in the sales meeting agenda. I also had a follow-up on, so from a few videos back again now, we had the embroidery document for the standard information form. We wanted to refine that and improve the quality of the information that was in that for when clients are requesting embroidery done for their clothing. That's been completed and was launched this morning. And I also got a tour of the embroidery workshop and the embroidery machine, which is a really complicated, fidgety looking thing. It looks like how you'd imagine a supercomputer from the 1960s. It's huge, and it's got bits of cotton and stuff running everywhere, and buttons and dials, and yeah, it's a pretty tricky looking thing. They actually have a woman there who's it's her specialty. She understands the nuances of the embroidery machine and manages it. So I got a bit of an overview of what's involved in operating it and how they do the colour matching and running the thread and the cotton and so forth. It was kind of interesting, kind of cool to see. We are also starting proper, well, hopefully. So we briefed, I gave a brief today for running of the weekly sales meetings in the format that they're going to need to be able to get full value out of the systems that we've been developing. And so I've worked with them and tweaked their agenda, so their standard agenda, which is the same set of topics that they should be covering on a week-to-week basis, but also a few of the reports which are coming from the tools that we've been developing, the customer information sheets, the 90-day action plans. We've worked those into the meeting agenda. But with our software system that we provide for our clients, there's also a meeting manager within that piece of software, and it basically makes sure that you're getting value out of the meeting process. So by having that standard agenda there, by having action items followed through, previous minutes accessible meeting to meeting, and it just helps automate all of that process. So I was running through with their operations manager today on how to run it. It's pretty simple, but I just wanted to make sure that he had his head around what needed to happen, because if that meeting's run well, they're going to get huge value out of that meeting process, because it's then going to bring back the accountability and the focus consistently with management and the sales team on a week-to-week basis as they work through their objectives with their clients. So they're due to have their first one of those tomorrow, and I'll get feedback on that, I expect, next week. And that was pretty much it for today. So it was a good session. We got some good things out of it, but yeah, nothing really new just yet, because we want to focus on making sure that what we've been creating is actually being implemented properly, and particularly around the sales area, because the value, everybody's pretty confident that that's going to bring quite a bit of value and some pretty early, quick and measurable wins to the business. The other thing that we did have with the sales tracking whiteboard, so where they've got individual targets for the month and updates for that, we've also developed that other spreadsheet to record those on a monthly basis, because it's on a whiteboard, so it gets rubbed out every month. It actually gets updated every week. It's supposed to, which was also included in the meeting minutes, the reminder to make sure that it gets updated. So we're actually building a procedure around how we want to manage that, and how that spreadsheet and the sales tracking whiteboard is going to be managed. So that was another thing that also happened today. Apart from that was pretty much it, and I'll update you in the next one.